Shabbat Shalom, Israel.
Shabbat Shalom.
Today's lesson will be on the law of marriage.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Once again, we welcome all visitors and ask you to return and come back again. We want to thank the body of Israel for being here today. We thank the assembly and everything that's a part of it. We want everyone to remember that we are one body and we are our brother's keeper. Today's lesson, once again, is going to be on the law of marriage. We're going to take it and tie it into a couple of things. We're going to go through it, and then a little bit later on, we're going to actually do a performance. So, you don't have to cry right now, Sister Tandra. I see you wiping your eyes. I know I hope you get awareness and stuff. No, I'm just joking. But yeah, so we're gonna actually do one after this is over. Am I correct? Yes. Sister look at me like I don't know what. You ain't talking to me about that part. But yeah, so we're gonna go into that. But we're gonna get started off. If everyone could follow us by book, by Bible, King James Version, 1611, or you can have just a regular book, a regular King James Version Bible with the Apocrypha. If you need an Apocrypha, we have one back there. But at this point in time, you do not need the Apocrypha. Okay? So, Brother Darren, if you can get me Romans 7:1, and Brother Kevin, if you can get me Genesis 1:26. Like all of our lessons, if anyone have a desire to ask a question, you can ask us, and we have one or three of us can give you an answer in that, or we do have other people that's in the audience that will chime in and they'll follow a question. Okay? Is everybody all right? Sure. All the young men all right? All the young sisters all right? All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. It's going to be Romans 7, verse 1. Romans 7, verse 1, and it reads, that's why.
Know ye not, brethren.
It said, know ye not, and he's speaking to who?
Israel.
But he said, know ye not, brethren, right? But the brethren he's talking about is the brethren of Israel. Read.
For I speak to them that know the law.
He said he's not speaking to the ones that don't know the law. He's not speaking to the ones that don't obey the law. He's speaking to the ones that know the law. Normally when you actually know the law, you try to keep the law if we know the circumstances of the law. So he said, I'm speaking to them that what? That know the law?
How that the law hath dominion over a man as long as he liveth.
Wait a minute now. Hold on. Somebody told me that the law wasn't good anymore. I heard one brother say the Big Ten was gone. Isn't that something? They didn't understand how our Hamashiach came and he just removed a couple of laws. He removed, he fulfilled a couple of laws. The law of sacrifice and the law of judgment. Okay? So let's go into it. Are we ready? So it says that some people say that we're governed by grace. But this verse says that we're governed by the law our whole life. So that throws the grace thing out, right? But what we don't understand about the grace is given that we may be able to what? Once again get in line with the law, repent, right? And move forward. Okay? So we're going to move on to Genesis 1. Genesis 1 and 26. Genesis 1 and 26.
Genesis 1 and 26. And Elohim said,
let
us make man in our image.
So who was he talking to? Yes, sir. Huh? Y'all heard that? This guy here got a good start on you kids already. He's our Hamashiach. Y'all do know that, right? That kind of like ties into what we were talking about earlier, but we're not going to get into that. Brother Amir, that kind of ties into what we were talking about earlier, but we're not going to get into it. You heard his answer, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's a young man. You know, me and you, we up there, we twins. It's all good, it's a good thing.
Indeed.
Right? We can probably tie in brother Robert, and he can be right with us. Might be our younger brother. You know? Okay, so let's get here, right? So once again, let's say, and what? Say it again?
And Elohim said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth.
So the Most High have dominion over everything, right? His kingdom is in heaven. The kingdom of our Hamashiach, which was with him when they began to talk about let's make man in our own image, his kingdom is going to be where? It's going to be on earth. Where? In Jerusalem. So he gave man an opportunity to rule over something. And he gave him dominion over the earth. I mean, not the earth, but he gave him the dominion over the fishes of the sea, the fowl of the earth, and over the cattle, and over all the earth. Right? And every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. But he didn't give him control of the earth. Read the 27th verse, brother.
So Elohim created man in his own image. And the image of Elohim created he him. Male and female created he them.
So wait a minute now. Did he create both of them at the same time? Something just took place. And we might be sleeping. But something just took place. Right? Because we know that according to scripture that the Most High put man, which is supposed to be Adam, to sleep. And he pulled from his rib and created the woman, am I correct? So we see that when he created the man, he created the man with the ability to produce a helpmeet from that man. And read that 28th verse.
And Elohim blessed them. And Elohim said unto them, be fruitful.
He blessed them as a whole. He blessed them. You know the most powerful thing in the world is a husband and wife that agree on the same accord? Do you know that the most powerful thing in this world today is a husband and wife that pray together? You know the most powerful thing in the world, in this world today is a husband and wife, right, that pray under one accord.
In submission to Yahushua.
And the submission. That's it. You see that? And read, brother.
Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth.
Okay? Let's go to Genesis. Mama went to the bathroom. I think Mama went to the bathroom. It's real serious. Don't y'all think they taking it lightly. They serious. Don't take it lightly because it might not be serious to you. But to them, we have some serious stuff going on right now. And we got to bear that and understand that we need to nurture that and not get a problem with that. All right? Let's go to Genesis 4. Genesis 4 and 5. Genesis 4 and 5.
Genesis 4, verse 5.
You can go to Romans 7.
But unto Cain and to his offering he had.
I'm sorry. Genesis 4 and 4.
Genesis 4, verse 4.
Yes, sir.
And Abel he also brought of the firstlings of his flock, and of the fat thereof. And the Most High had respect unto Abel and to his offering.
So now we talk about now the offerings one more time. We're talking about the offerings that was given unto the Most High. And it talks about how Abel brought the fat, he brought his best. And what? But Cain?
But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect.
Why, I wonder?
And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell.
So it didn't say anything about Cain bringing the best he had. It just said that it's like I say, man, can somebody give me an apple and there's a whole tree, apples out there, a few of them hanging on the limb? They're fresh, they're nice, right? They look kind of juicy. You can reach up to the tree, you can pull it off. But instead, you reach on the ground and grab one that's rotten and bring it to him and say, "Here, Lord." You say, "Wow, you put a whole lot of thought in that one." So, you know, so we looking at that. Cain didn't put a whole lot into his offering. But it say, Cain, okay, read the next one.
Verse 6.
Uh-huh.
And the Most High said unto Cain,
Uh-huh.
Why art thou wroth?
Why are you upset?
And why is thy countenance fallen?
So, you know, the Most High can pick up when our countenance is not right. We should be able to pick up when our countenance is not right. We can pick up when our children's countenance is not right. We can pick up when our mate's countenance is not right. And what?
If thou doest well,
But if you do well,
shalt thou not be accepted?
if a husband do well, if a wife do well, they both going to be accepted by one another. Read.
And if thou doest not well,
I'm just using this as a parable. But if thou does not well,
sin lieth at the door.
because when you do not do well in a marriage, sin's at the door, right? Why is sin at the door? Because somebody gonna dip. Y'all know it. Somebody gonna go around the corner, and they ain't gonna tell you, man, you better bust them, and even then they gonna lie. But it says that on a layman term of what the scripture is actually talking about. I tied it into that, but let's go back. It says that when thou doest well, thou shalt be accepted. So when if Cain had did well and put forth his best, he would have been accepted by the Most High. And if thou do not well, he says sin lies at the door. So by him not being well, he became angry set in, right? And his countenance was different. The worst thing to do is come home from work and the countenance of your counterpart or your mate, whether it's male or female at home, come home and their countenance is not good. Your day could have been great. You could have just got a promotion. But you come home and everything right, or you come home and heels are not right, you be like, come on, man. Let me go to the store.
That was a bad day.
It's not going to be good. I don't know how we got while I go to sleep. You know what I mean? So we look at this, right? This say, and what? And unto thee
shall be his desire,
uh-huh.
and thou shalt rule over him.
But he's saying that when things are not right, he's saying that it says that sin lies at the door. And to sin is going to be what? You're going to become sin's desire. Sin is going to want to overtake you. Because how do y'all know that there are spirits and principalities that we deal with from high places on a daily basis? Right? Now read, brother.
And Cain talked with Abel his brother.
Uh-huh.
And it came to pass,
Uh-huh.
when they were in the field,
Uh-huh.
that Cain rose up against Abel his brother, and slew him.
And committed murder. He sinned. So using the husband and wife theory as well as the firstborn of Yahweh gave us knowledge and of where we stand with him, right? We're going to go back to Romans again. We're going to hit Romans 7. We're going to hit Romans 7 and 2. Romans 7 and 2.
Romans 7 and 2.
Uh-huh.
For the woman which has a man is bound by that mitzvah.
And he's reading from the seat. I'm gonna come back behind for a second here. It says, for a woman which has a husband is bound by, when he said mitzvah, he said bound by the law, right? By that law, right? To her husband, read.
So long as he lives.
So long as he lives, but
if the man be dead,
if the husband be dead,
she is loosed from that law of her man.
So now we see, remember we talked about how the marriage between Israel and the marriage between Israel and the Most High, why the Most High divorced Israel, but he had to die to break the marriage between him and Judah, that he may marry again. But we're going to wait on that. There's a whole new talk right there. I just want to throw that out there for a hot second, right? So now let's wait. You had which one? Which verse? You on the third verse? Read that third verse. Give me Romans 6 and 1. Read that third verse.
So then, if while her man lives, she be married to another man, she shall be a woman that breaks wedlock.
Now she should be called an adulteress.
But if her man be dead,
But if her husband be dead,
she is free from that law,
but that law of marriage she's free from.
so that she is no breaker of wedlock.
Therefore she's not in sin if she decides to go marry again. Read.
Though she be married to another man.
Even though she married another man. And Romans 6 verse 1. Romans 6 verse 1.
Romans 6, verse 1.
Romans 6 verse 1. And it reads, thus what?
What shall we say then?
What shall we say then?
Shall we continue in sin, that grace may abound?
Do we go out and commit adultery? Do we go out? Do we misuse our mates because we can say grace is here and I can repent for this? Do we do it based on anytime you do anything, based on you being able to repent for it once you do it? That means that you willingly did it. Everybody understand that, right? And read, brother.
Elohim forbid.
And say, I hope the Most High forbid that.
How shall we, that are dead to sin, live any longer therein?
So if once you come out of sin and out of the worldliness of sin, you should want to return. There's a scripture that says it's like a dog returning back to his vomit. But go ahead and read, my brother.
Verse 3.
Know
Know ye not
ye not?
that so many of us as were baptized into the Messiah were baptized into his death?
Read.
Therefore we are buried with him by baptism into death. That like as Mashiach was raised up from the dead by the glory of the Father, even so we also should walk in newness of life.
Read.
For if we have been planted together in the likeness of his death, we shall be also in the likeness of his resurrection.
And read, my brother.
Knowing this, that our old man is crucified with him.
But see now, the only thing about that is, knowing what we just found out is that we supposed to be baptized into his death, right? Knowing this, it should let us know that the old man should be dead. It should be killed off. If that old man is dead, when you return back to sin, you return back to that old man. Do everybody understand that? Right? Read.
That the body of sin might be destroyed, that henceforth we should not serve sin. For he that is dead is free from sin.
Now, does that make sense? He that is dead is free from sin? Anybody understand? Because check this out. If somebody was walking toward, just got up and walked over here and just dropped right there and dead and died, I guarantee you, once he died, he'll commit another sin. I guarantee you that a person who was it? You think he will? You think he will? No, you're not the way I said it, man. But when you are dead, the dead know nothing. You can't do anything else. So once you die, you will sin no more. So if you kill off the old man, that old man should do what? What is little Darren? If he's dead, he should do what? He shouldn't sin anymore, should he? All right, my brother. And read.
Now if we be dead with Mashiach, we believe that we shall also live with him.
So now, let's go with this, right? John 15:1. You know, I'm not going to tie that in right there. Let's go with John 15. Yes, and I need Romans. I need Romans 7:4.
All right, Gospel of John 15:1.
And stay in John 15.
I am the vine of truth, and my Father is the husbandman.
Okay, hold tight right there. Give me Romans 7:4. We're going to do this kind of quick, y'all, so don't try to follow us on this one. You go back, stay at John.
Romans 7, verse 4. Wherefore, my brethren, Ye also are become dead to the law by the body of Hamashiach, that ye should be married to another.
Read.
Even to him who is raised from the dead, that we should bring forth fruit unto Yahweh.
So let me explain that real quick where I'm going with this, right? The old man and the old woman, before you got married, once you marry, you got to kill off that single person. You no longer have a right to hang out with the fellas at any given time of the day or night. You do not have no right to hang out with your sisters at any day, time of the night, unless your husband and wife come together and make an agreement that this shall be done. Because now the two of you have become one. You have killed off the old single person, and you have awakened, or you have become a new person, which is a married person. But you are married in what? Under the guidance and under the law of the Most High. When you do the covenant, that covenant is not exactly made between husband and wife. That covenant is made from the husband to the Most High and from the wife to the Most High. Y'all got that right? There's a covenant that you make with the Most High. And the covenant that you're going to do everything that is read within the covenant of your marriage. Right?
Elder, I got a precept for that.
Give it to me, brother.
Titus chapter 2.
Titus chapter 2?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Starting in verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Titus chapter 2, verse 1. But speak thou things which become sound doctrine, that the aged men be sober, grave, temperate, sound in faith and charity and patience. The aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things.
Exactly.
And verse 4, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of the Most High not be blasphemed.
So listen, what he just said is that your children should learn by example. If you're going to be a false accuser of your husband, your daughter's going to be a false accuser of her husband. If you're going to be a brawler, your daughter is going to be a brawler. If you're going to be an unfit husband, your son is going to be an unfit husband, because you are the first people that they look up to. They learn from you because you're teaching them what you're supposed to do inside of a marriage. If you keep yours right and you live right, you treat your wife right, your son is going to treat his wife right. If you're married to him and you keep treating your husband right, your daughter is going to treat her husband right if you were brought up in the truth and by the law and by the scriptures by the Most High.
And as it just said, and as you said, and as his precept said, those are the man and woman's duties to the Most High.
That's it. It's not to you. It's not to my wife. It's not, it's not to your wife. It's not to your husband. It's to the Most High. Because we should get a little deeper into that. Did you read John 15 and 2? And I need you to get Jeremiah 3 and 6.
Not every.
Read.
Every branch in me that bears not fruit, he takes away. And every branch that bears fruit, he purges it, that it may bring forth more fruit.
So we got to understand, marriage is not going to always flow exactly right. Marriage is not, there's going to be problems in marriage. The problem is not having problems in marriage. The problem is when you don't try to rectify the problem. The problem comes when you don't try to do something about that. You have to do something about it, but when you do it about it, do it according to the word of the Most High, not on your own thoughts and from your own mind.
But the Most High first.
He got to come first. when I was in the Christian church, a lady said something that was really, it was kind of like, it sounded like something that, a cliche that somebody would say all the time, but it really strikes a nerve, right? Not a nerve, but it makes you think, right? They say in all situations, ask yourself, now listen, I was in Christianity then, so I'm going to say it the way she said it. What would Jesus do? Right? So we would say, what would our Hamashiach do in this position? What would he do? And we have to make decisions based on what our Hamashiach would do. Because he came to show us how to do this. Right? Jeremiah 3 and 6. Jeremiah 3 and 6. I'm going to leave Romans 7 and 5. You kind of like hanging out with Jeremiah 3 and 6. Jeremiah 3 and 6.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 3, verse 6. The Most High said also unto me in the days of Josiah the king, hast thou seen that which backsliding Israel has done? She is gone up upon every high mountain, and under every green tree, and there hath played the harlot.
I'm reading.
And I said, after she had done all these things, turn thou unto me. But she returned not, and her treacherous sister Judah saw it.
We were talking about that a little earlier. But let me say this, right? We do know that Israel is married was married unto our Hamashiach, right? Do we also know that they were divorced? But he's talking now that they played a harlot. It hurt just as much as Israel hurt the Most High, our Hamashiach, within the marriage. And I'm telling you, next week will be a really beautiful lesson. But it's the same thing would happen if a wife played a harlot upon her husband, or vice versa. Or if the husband plays a can the husband be a harlot? He can do something. We try to say it as nice as possible here. But I vow that I'll be nice in the near future. I don't want to get no notes from this guy. Tell me to calm down. But so the husband cannot be an adulterer. Because if he's an adulterer, then what? He's paying a harlot also. Right? And read, brother.
So, and I said, after she had done all these things,
That's good. You started in the right place. Right place.
turn thou unto me, but she returned not, and her treacherous sister Judah saw it.
Read.
And I saw, when for all the causes whereby backsliding Israel committed adultery, I had put her away. I had put her away.
And what?
And given her a bill of divorce.
You see that? So if you go out and you commit adultery, that's a reasoning for you to be divorced. If you're not planning to be divorced, don't go do it.
Yet her treacherous sister Judah feared not, but went and played the harlot also.
Because we have seen other people do these things. We have seen wives go out and play the harlot. We have seen foolish men go out and do the things that they shouldn't do. We should learn by their mistakes, but if we see them do it, it don't make us no better. We go do the same thing we've seen others. Because we just get married. We don't know nothing about, we know about it, but I'm just saying. We haven't made a move like that. But when you see it done and how it ruins somebody else's marriage, if you really want your marriage to be what it's going to be, you have to do those things that you know which is right in your marriage. Because you've seen the results of doing it the wrong way. And read, my brother.
Verse 9. And it came to pass through the lightness of her whoredom that she defiled the land.
The land.
And committed adultery with stones and with stocks.
You know, the Most High talked about that he gave, that he didn't give the Levitical priests any land, or he didn't give them no heritage, right? Meaning he didn't give them a special place to be. But when you have a husband and wife to get married, and they get their home, or they get their apartment, or whatever, that is their land. That is their spot where they are. That is where their sacred place that they do what husbands and wives do. They try to raise a family, that they do things like that. But when you go out and you commit some sort of some offense against the marriage, you have defiled that marriage, and you defile the space, the place of where the husband and wife is. That's why I can't understand how some men would take a woman to their house, or some women would let a man come over, because you're defiling the bed of your spouse. How can you do that? Because once he or she find out that somebody been in their bed, it's a problem. And I don't think that problem's going to be rectified unless you got a very foolish husband or a very foolish wife. They got to be really out there for you. For that. But I'm telling you, even if they say they forgive you, they're not going to forget. It's going to always be in their mind. They're going to always be mindful to check the least little thing that look like that. That's why Scripture says, abstain from the appearance of evil. Because if it look like it's evil, man, it's off and running. You get ready for a 4-hour argument. If you last 4 hours. Well, yeah, bro.
Verse 10.
Verse 10 reads thus why.
And yet for all this, her treacherous sister Judah has not turned unto me with her whole heart, but vainly, said the Most High.
Read.
And the Most High said unto me, the backsliding Israel has justified herself more than treacherous Judah.
And that's how he divorced Israel. But Judah was worse than Israel. And that's something. I guess we all wonder why, but that's a whole new lesson. Y'all know, I'm going to throw it out there real quick. The reason why is because our Hamashiach had to come down through the line of Judah. That's why Sister Lisa knew that already. She shaking her head white and said it. So he had to come down through the line of Judah. So in order to come down through the line of Judah, he had to stay married to Judah in order for our Hamashiach to come down through the line of Judah. Keep going, my brother.
Verse 12. Go and proclaim these words toward the north, and say, return, thou backsliding Israel, said the Most High, and I will not cause my anger to fall upon you. For I am merciful, said the Most High, and I will not keep anger forever. Only acknowledge thine iniquity, that thou hast transgressed against the Most High, thy Elohim, and hast scattered thy ways to the strangers under every green tree, and ye have not obeyed my voice, said the Most High.
Turn, O backsliding Israel, what? O backsliding children.
Turn, O backsliding children, said the Most High, for I am married unto you, and I will take you one of a city, and two of a family, and I will bring you to Zion, and I will give you pastors according to my heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding.
Give me Romans 7:5 right quick, brother.
Romans 7:5.
Stay where you are in Jeremiah 1. Stay right where you are.
Romans 7:5. For when we were in the flesh, the motions of sin, which were by the law, did work in our members to bring forth fruit unto death.
So, one more time.
For when we were in the flesh.
Right, no, I'm sorry. I got you. But so one more time, we're going to express this right here, right? That the law of sacrifice was allowing us to actually die. That's why the law of sacrifice was removed. We all been down this road several times, and y'all walk down this road with me, because people that had different items that they could sacrifice that would cover their sin could go out and willingly sin and sacrifice and get through it. So it did not change whether they sinned or whether they did not sin, right? So I'm going to jump down to 2 Timothy. I'm sorry. Go to 2 Timothy. We got enough of backsliding Israel and Judah. We know about them already. Unless somebody's got it here, I can go down through it. It's in my text, but we're going to go down through it. We're going to hit 2 Timothy right quick. 2 Timothy 2, verse 1.
2 Timothy 2 and 1. 2 Timothy 2 and 1. You therefore, my son, Be strong in the grace that is in Mashiach Yahushua.
Uh-huh.
And the things that you have heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit you to faithful men, who shall be able to teach others also. Therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua HaMashiach.
No man.
No man that wars entangles himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who has chosen him to be a soldier. And if a man also strive for masteries, yet is he not crowned, except he strive lawfully.
The husbandman.
The husbandman that labors must be first partaker of the fruits. Consider what I say, and Yahuwah will give you understanding in all things.
Remember
that Yahushua HaMashiach of the seed of David was raised from the dead according to my gospel.
So this is why we say that HaMashiach had come down through the line of David, bloodline of David, which also came down through Judah. So that I kind of jumped ahead myself and answered that for you already. But 2 Kings 2:11. Did I give you Luke yet?
Yes.
Okay, you stay at Luke. So give me 1 Kings 2:11. Well, we don't really have to read that. That's just saying that what they're doing is that's you got it. Okay, brother.
First Kings 2:11. And the days that David reigned over Israel were 40 years. 7 years reigned he in Hebron, and 33 years reigned he in Jerusalem.
In Jerusalem. So why do we read that? That goes back to do what? That goes back to confirm something, though. We were talking about. It said that the scripture was saying that our Hamashiach of the seed of David was raised from the dead according to what his gospel. Meaning that, and it also says that he was going to reign over the throne of David, right? But it's showing that David reigned in Israel, in Jerusalem, for what? 33 years. So that's actually where his reign was. And read the 33rd verse. You read that? I'm sorry, what was that? Okay, wrong. No, jump down to 33.
So 1 Kings 2:33. Their blood shall therefore return upon the head of, is that Joab?
Am I in the right place?
First Kings 2:33.
Yeah, but I made mine the wrong place, so I might move some other way. Okay, don't worry about it. We can recover again anyway. And it's going to back itself up. Give me Luke 1:30. Luke 1:30. We're going to get through here. We're about down here. We're going to go on into this thing here and into the ceremony. Yes, sir.
The book of Luke, chapter 1, verse 30.
The book of Luke, St. Luke, chapter 1, verse 30. And it reads, thus why.
And the angel said unto her,
What do you say?
Fear not, Mary, for thou hast found favor with the Most High. And behold, thou shalt conceive in thy womb, and bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Messiah.
So now listen to this. If you guys are on Facebook and y'all connected to some of the Hebrews out there, you got a group running out here saying that Joseph is the daddy, and it said that an angel cannot have made kids or anything. But who said the angel made a kid? Nobody said that the angel made one. So therefore, that's not even that question. They put in the forest before the trees without realizing what tree is in the forest. Read that 32nd verse.
Verse 32. He shall be great, and shall be called the Son of the Highest. And the Adonai Elohim shall give unto him the throne of his father David.
So there we go. So we read that David's throne was in the kingdom of Israel, and it says that what? That our Hamashiach will be what? Given the throne of David. One more time, we're going to hit Genesis 32 and 24. And then we're going to hit Deuteronomy. One of y'all get Deuteronomy 26. You got Genesis, right? 32 and 24, 26 and 16.
Genesis 32 and 24.
Yes, sir.
And Yaakov was left alone.
Ah, now we can really talk about this marriage again.
And Jacob was left alone.
So Jacob was left alone. So we can really show y'all something here. See, a lot of people don't believe that Israel was actually married to a Hamashiach. But it said, and he was left alone.
And there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day.
And it said, here a man wrestled with him from the breaking of the day. He did wrestle, and what?
And when he saw that he prevailed not against him,
the man said he wasn't going to get Jacob, what?
he touched the hollow of his thigh. And the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint.
Jacob was really getting it because the man he was wrestling with wasn't a man, it was an angel. And what?
As Jacob's thigh was out of joint as he wrestled with him. And he said, "Let me go, for the day breaks." And he said, "I will not let you go except you bless me."
David knew it was an angel. And read. Now I'm sorry, Jacob.
And he said unto him, "What is your name?" And he said, "Jacob." And he said, "Your name shall be called no more Jacob,
Here come the blessing.
but Yisrael.
For what?
For as a prince have you power with Elohim and with men, and have prevailed."
How many of y'all know that Israel is the surname that was given to us by Elohim? Y'all got that? That's the surname. That means that Israel was married unto him. And now, Deuteronomy 26 and 16. We're going to close this out. Yes, sir.
Deuteronomy 26, verse 16. This day the Most High, thy Elohim, hath commanded thee to do these statutes.
But I want to hold you up right there. Just stay right there and don't move your spots. Take back off, right? Israel was surnamed because there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in this world today. Israel was surnamed, which was by the Most High. So if the Most High had not surnamed Israel, then the other nations would not have known, or Israel would not have known, or had nothing in place to show that they belong to our Elohim. Everybody get that? A lot of women get married and they want to keep their name. That should not be so. Because you're married, you have entered into a covenant with your husband. And this husband has to surname you to show that you are a part of him, that you are his helpmeet, not helpmate. Not mate. A lot of people tell you that the word is mate, but it's meet. Help meet. Help him to meet his daily task. Help him to meet what it takes to raise a family. And go ahead, brother, say.
This day the Most High, thy Elohim, hath commanded thee to do these statutes and judgments. Thou shalt therefore keep and do them with all thy heart.
This is what a part of the marriage was. This was the covenant they went into. What?
And with all thy soul. Thou hast avouched the Most High this day to be thy Elohim, and to walk in his ways, and to keep his statutes, and his commandments, and his judgments, and to hearken unto his voice.
Let me tell you, if the Elohim cannot hold you to something that he won't do himself. If he was married to Israel, and he surnamed Israel, right? Everything within the marriage that he tells you you have to keep within the marriage is the same thing he has to keep in accordance to his marriage to Israel and Judah. He has to do it because he cannot hold you to a standard that he's not going to keep himself. He's going to keep his standard himself, so therefore he's going to hold you to the same exact standard. He cannot judge you for something that he's doing wrong. And read.
And the Most High hath avouched thee this day to be his peculiar people, as he hath promised thee, and that thou shouldest keep all his commandments.
A peculiar people, a different people. When you marry and you get into a marriage, you become a different person. You're gonna be peculiar. You're not gonna be like you were when you with your girlfriends at one time. You and your girlfriends were doing some of the same stuff. Birds of a feather flock together. You and your boys was hanging out doing some of the same stuff. But once you get married, some things supposed to change in your life to identify that you're peculiar, you're different now. You are a special kind of person because you is a what? A married person. And read.
And to make thee high above all nations.
Read.
Which he hath made. In praise. And in name. And in honor. And that thou mayest be an holy people unto the Most High by Elohim.
But you know, y'all have to listen. You have to praise together. You have to honor the Most High with one mind. Did we cut it off? You have to honor the Most High with one name. And you have to be a holy people. So Israel received a certain name. And we should be above all nations. When it comes to giving out Elohim praise and honor, we should do that at a drop of a dime. But he is a faithful husband. When a husband is faithful unto his wife, she should honor him, and I'm not going to say praise, but she should give him the honor of a husband that's right. And when a wife is doing right, a husband should give her honor. Right? For a woman that's living right. I want to say that, anybody, did you have something you want to add? You, my brother? Okay. So, I want to say that that concludes our lesson of the law of marriage. It was kind of like tied into the marriage of Israel, between Israel and the Most High. And now we're gonna go deeper into some marriage stuff as we do this ceremony that's about to take place. If we can get a song to set us up so we can move forward, yeah, I don't think we're gonna. Before you stop yet.